What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys right here, right now, today. And this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, August 14th, 2023. The Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus snooze fest continues. So we're going to get into this and so much more right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T, so make sure you kick back, relax. We'll get everything ready, hit the introductions, and get this party started. So, your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show will be coming your way next. Don't go away. I will be right back.
This is M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
What is going on, everybody? We are here again. It's a Monday night, which means your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show is here. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you right here, right now, today. And this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, August 14th, 2023. 2023. So, I'm your host, Big T, with you here right now today. And, yeah, guys, I mean, we didn't have a bad show, but we did not have a great show either. I mean, you know, usually out of a Canadian crowd, we get a more enthusiastic Canadian crowd than what we got, because they were in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada tonight. The crowd was rather dead, just not into it, not feeling it. And I think a lot of it has to do with just WWE giving a subpar product, because the product has not been the greatest. It hasn't really been that bad, but hasn't been that good either. So, yeah, but how you doing, guys? I'm back. I'm finally back. And, we're here to pick it up again, so don't forget to check out my website, www.beyondtheringwithbigt.com. You can call into the show live on Skype using BigT_119. Follow me on Twitter, BeyondTheRingBT. Like me and follow me on Facebook, Beyond the Ring with Big T. Follow me on Instagram at Beyond the Ring with Big T. Donate to the show using PayPal. The PayPal link's at the top of the description of this video and every single video that I do. And there's a PayPal button on my YouTube homepage, so any amount you can donate to the show, big or small, would be very much appreciated. Thank you guys for that. And let's take a look at what we got. Let's get into everything here. So, WWE Monday Night Raw review and results for Monday, August 14, 2023. We got a major grudge match. We hear from Shinsuke Nakamura and more. So, WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, August 14, 2023 is coming to us live from the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, home of Chris Jericho, the GOAT. While Trish Stratus defeated Becky Lynch at WWE Night of Champions back in May with some aid from Zoe Stark, Becky has her shot at redemption tonight as both women collide in a grudge match with Zoe Stark banned from ringside. Becky has had no shortage of issues with Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark, with Zoe Stark even going as far as attempting to outsmart Becky as a means for Trish to avoid the rematch with her altogether a couple of weeks ago. Not only did Shinsuke Nakamura score a win over Bronson Reed last week, but he also stepped in to join forces with Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes to emerge victorious over the Judgment Day. After an injured Sami Zayn wasn't able to compete in the match. However, following the conclusion of the match, Shinsuke Nakamura betrayed his teammates with an attack on Seth freaking Rollins and headed to the back. Tonight, Shinsuke Nakamura will shed some light on his actions and provide an explanation. Raquel Rodriguez has been vying for the chance to get her hands on her former best friend Rhea Ripley, after the Women's World Heavyweight Champion Rhea Ripley sidelined Raquel Rodriguez's tag team partner Liv Morgan a few weeks ago. This led to a brawl at ringside between both women during last week's edition of Raw, and the next chapter in their rivalry looks to be written tonight. Additionally, per WWE's event page, Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Intercontinental Champion Gunther are amongst those scheduled to be in town. So we are live. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett greet audiences at home as the Judgment Day heads down to the ring. We hear from the Judgment Day to kick off Raw. And let's see, what's up, Darth? How you doing over there? Rhea Ripley welcomes fans to the place that the Judgment Day runs, Raw. She says that she knows things haven't been going in Judgment Day's favor, and Damian Priest says not only should Finn Balor have walked out of WWE SummerSlam, but himself, Balor, and Dominic Mysterio should have won their six-man tag team match last week. He says despite the miscommunication, Finn Balor will defeat Cody Rhodes later tonight, as Priest points out Balor's absence and says he should be in the ring, but assures fans that the Judgment Day will not be breaking up before harping on Balor's absence some more. JD McDonough makes his way down to the ring, and Damian Priest warns McDonough to tread lightly. McDonough says he doesn't want to disrespect the Judgment Day, and says he has a message for them from Finn Balor. McDonough says Balor told him to worry about Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes rather than his friendship with, McDonough, before Rhea Ripley cuts him off and says the Judgment Day does not take orders from anyone, especially those who are not part of the group. Dominic Mysterio says the Judgment Day has things locked down, and then list off their accomplishments as boos rain down from the audience on Dominic. So Dominic tells McDonough to head to the back so they can handle business, and McDonough assures them that he was simply delivering a message, as Rhea tells him to let Balor know that they have a message for him. So Sami Zayn's music hits. Sami wastes no time attacking McDonough, as Sami rains down right hands and knocks McDonough to the floor, and then stares down the Judgment Day. McDonough turns things around and uses the ring post to target Sami's arm, as he then sends him crashing into it. So at least Sami Zayn is able to perform. Even though he's injured, I guess he's not, injured badly enough where he has to, take time off. At least he's there, because Kevin Owens is hurt. They're not doing anything with the tag team championships. I miss the Usos tag title reign, to be honest with you. That's just me. That's what's going to happen when Roman Reigns loses the championship. It's just not going to be... It's not going to be good anymore. So we got... It leads to a match, Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. JD McDonough used to be known as Jordan Devlin, by the way. He's a former Cruiserweight champion. So the bell rings, Sami sends McDonough into the top turnbuckle face first as he delivers an elbow off the middle rope, and then follows it up with a back body drop and sends him crashing into the ropes. McDonough rains down right hands and stomps before sending Sami's previously injured elbow bouncing off the top rope, as he then begins to target it by sending it bouncing off the mat. Sami dumps McDonough over the top rope to the outside and then joins him out there and levels him with a clothesline. McDonough sends his elbow bouncing off the barricade near the timekeeper's area and then delivers a knee to it on the top of the announce desk. We go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Sami looks to go flying off the top, but McDonough catches him with a drop kick in midair, as he then delivers a series of kicks to his arm. But Sami fires back with a clothesline and fires off a few right hands at a Michinoku driver. McDonough lands a standing Spanish fly and then locks in a crossface, as Sami then escapes the hold by getting his foot on the bottom rope, and then delivers an exploder as Finn Balor appears on the ramp, as he runs down the ramp and acts like he's about to slide into the ring, allowing McDonough to roll Sami up as Sami kicks out before McDonough lands a headbutt and then ascends to the top as he looks for a moonsault. But Sami gets his knees up and executes, gets his feet up. McDonough face first into Sami's feet. He goes right into the corner. And then Sami executes the haluva kick onto McDonough for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Sami Zayn, getting the win over JD McDonough. And after the match, Finn Balor looks to attack Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn slides out of the ring before Finn Balor can attack him. And that was the end of the first segment in the first match. Segment wasn't bad, teasing tension between Finn Balor and Damian Priest as that continues, so that was good. The match with JD McDonough and Sami Zayn, there really is no story behind that yet, but for getting things started off, the match wasn't bad between the two. It would be, a good TV match, but nothing that's really just gonna make you think like, wow, this was something that's really amazing, I gotta go check this out, or anything like that. It's not anything spectacular, so to speak. So just letting you guys know that right off the bat. And let's take a look. Here. After this, we go to a segment I didn't really care about. We head backstage to Adam Pearce and Chelsea Green. I'm like, give me a break. Pearce looks to inform Chelsea Green that she has to relinquish the women's tag team championships. If only that were true. If only that were freaking true. Because I'll tell you, she's terrible. She is absolutely terrible, guys. I don't know how anybody can enjoy Chelsea Green, for God's sakes. Chelsea freaking Green. Can't stand her, guys. Just can't. You guys know how I feel. I mean, I wish they would have just stripped the titles from her, got her out of the company, and to where she would never be seen or heard from again. Because, I mean, she's an idiot. You know, really, she is. I don't know what anybody sees in her, why anybody likes her. It makes no sense to me. God, I would give anything to have Vince McMahon fire her and just claim it's budget cuts. That would be the best thing he could ever do. That really would be the best thing Vince McMahon could ever do, but obviously he won't do it. He won't freaking do it. It's annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Drives me nuts. And I don't know why people still want to see her in this company. It just doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, it probably never will. It just won't. It just will be one of those things that will never make sense. Alright, guys. Let's see what happens next in this shitty fucking segment that I just don't care about. So, let's see. Yeah, that she has to relinquish the women's tag team championships as a result of Sonya Deville's torn ACL. Chelsea Green threatens to call Adam Pearce's manager, and then Adam Pearce asks Chelsea Green what he should do. Chelsea Green suggests she holds auditions for a new partner before Kaden Carter and Katana Chance walk in looking for a shot at the women's tag team titles once Chelsea Green is a new tag team partner. Out of nowhere, Piper Niven blindsides Kaden Carter and Katana Chance and then tells Chelsea Green she's her new partner. Chelsea Green had both titles around her shoulder. Piper Niven grabs one of the tag team titles and just yanks it off of Chelsea Green's shoulder. And there you go. Don't care. Back at ringside, Imperium heads down to the ring and we hear from Imperium. Gunther gets on top of the announce desk, and I love when he does that to address the whole crowd. I think that's awesome. And Gunther says that he has arrived in Winnipeg on his journey to being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Gunther says as a European, he always looks forward to coming to Canada. But after walking around Winnipeg, he sees why people call it the armpit of Canada. Love that. It's like an old school heel tactic to just get that heat from whatever town, they're in. Gunther says he's here to address Chad Gable. Gunther then says he was impressed by Gable's victory in the #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship last week. And Gunther says while Gable has worked hard to get where he is at, Gunther has accomplished more in a year than Gable has in his whole entire WWE career. So Gable comes out and he tells Gunther to shoosh please, as he appears at ringside alongside Otis and Maxine Dupree. He reminds Gunther that he defeated him in their 5-minute challenge despite Gunther changing it at the last second, and then says that Gunther is now on the clock, as Gable says he's coming for Gunther's Intercontinental title. And Gable then tells Giovanni Vinci to get in the ring for a few free lessons from him in their upcoming match. Vinci gets in the ring alongside Ludwig Kaiser before Kaiser says Vinci is the creme de la creme of the WWE. Really? Yeah, Vinci is not the creme de la creme of WWE. I'm sorry. And, Kaiser tells Gable that Vinci will beat him, and then Gable says Maxine Dupree will eventually have to understand. Kaiser says that Maxine Dupree will eventually have to understand that she needs to surround herself with some European elegance, as he says both of them have A-plus aesthetics, and then says Alpha Academy is a sinking ship, and says she can either grab his hand or sink with Gable and Otis, as Maxine Dupree then slaps Ludwig Kaiser. So we got Chad Gable with the Alpha Academy of Otis and Maxine Dupree in his corner going up against Giovanni Vinci with Imperium of Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther in his corner. The bell rings, both men lock up, Vinci lands a shoulder tackle and a drop toe hold, and then locks in a shoulder submission. Gable escapes and Vinci delivers a right hand to his spine and follows it up with a back suplex as he then delivers a back breaker. But Gable sets him up for a German suplex as Vinci escapes, but Gable lands the German suplex on the second attempt and follows it up with a twisting neck breaker, and then ascends to the top and looks for the moonsault. Vinci rolls out of the way and plants Gable and then lands one of his own and goes for the pin. Gable kicks out and Vinci looks to hit Gable with a powerbomb, but Gable avoids it and plants Vinci with a German suplex right into the bridge for the 1, 2, 3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Chad Gable. Match was what it was. They're just furthering the storyline of Imperium and the Alpha Academy. But I mean, the match was just your average run-of-the-mill, nothing, just pretty bland. Vanilla. Chad Gable wins. But after the match, Gunther grabs a microphone and stands back up on the announce desk. As Gunther says this isn't how things end tonight, and then calls Otis the armpit of humanity and challenges him to a one-on-one matchup next, and Otis accepts. And this is a non-title match, by the way. So now we have Intercontinental Champion Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, Imperium in his corner going up against Otis, one-on-one with Alpha Academy of Maxine Dupree and Chad Gable in his corner. So the bell rings, both men lock up, Gunther lands a shoulder tackle and a big boot and then delivers several stomps and a few elbows to his head and then lands a couple of chops, but Otis then fires back with a spinning back elbow. Gunther lands a shoulder tackle, but Otis stays standing and both men try unsuccessfully, leveling one another with clotheslines as Otis sets up for the Caterpillar. But Gunther puts a stop to his momentum and delivers a big boot and the last symphony, which is the powerbomb. That goes for the 1, 2, 3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Gunther. After the match, Gable levels Gunther with a German suplex. So he's getting the upper hand on Gunther, which means Gunther's going to win the match next week when they face off for the Intercontinental Championship. Not sure why they're not doing that at Payback, but okay. I mean, Gunther and Otis in a match, I mean, it was what it was. Nothing really that special. It served its purpose. It was an average thing. Just building to the Alpha Academy Imperium storyline along with, the whole Chad Gable Gunther Intercontinental title match, everything in between. So there you go. Alright, after this, we then head backstage to the Judgment Day. Damian Priest chews Finn Balor out for not being with himself. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, being with Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio earlier tonight. Rhea Ripley diffuses the situation before JD McDonough walks in. Damian Priest tells JD McDonough that this is none of his business, and Finn Balor sends him away. Balor then says that Cody Rhodes has no idea what's coming, and the Judgment Day gets hyped up. Even though Balor sent McDonough away, I still think McDonough is going to be the newest member of the Judgment Day, or Damian Priest is going to get kicked out of the Judgment Day and replaced with JD McDonough, and then Damian Priest will have a singles run on his own. I mean, we'll see. We go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. We then head to a video package of what happened between Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso last Friday night on WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Back at ringside, Matt Riddle heads down to the ring as the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, and Valhalla, and Matt Riddle's tag team partner Drew McIntyre follow. And we got Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre teaming up, taking on the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, with Valhalla in their corner in a tag team match. So Riddle and Ivar begin the action. The bell rings and Riddle fires off kicks. Ivar responds with a shoulder tackle and then tosses him into the corner and tags in Eric. The Raiders fire off some kicks before Eric lands a forearm as Riddle fires back with a kick to his head and an overhead throw before the action spills to the outside. Riddle looks for a kick, but Eric catches him and the Raiders double team on him. And then we go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. Eric plants Riddle on the mat as that Ivar tags in and wears Riddle down and then tags Eric back in. The Raiders, they rain down some right hands here, where Riddle plants Eric with the suplex and tags in Drew. And then Ivar tags in and Drew catches him with a clothesline and follows it up with a neckbreaker and a Michinoku driver, and then pulls a now legal Eric into the ring as he sets up for the Claymore kick. But levels an interfering Ivar. Riddle then tags in, and the Raiders plant Riddle with a double team maneuver as Eric and Drew then tag into the match. Eric levels Drew with the suplex as Riddle then levels Ivar on the outside with a floating bro, but Eric clocks him from behind and slides back into the ring, where Drew is waiting with a Claymore kick for the 1, 2, 3 and the pin and the win. Your winners are Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre. Thought that Drew McIntyre might turn heel on Matt Riddle here because Drew McIntyre does indeed need the heel turn, but doesn't look like that is gonna happen yet. So it's something that they're teasing. We'll have to see, what's gonna happen with this as this goes along. Something just to kind of watch out for, if you know what I mean. So yeah, guys, that's where we're at there. I'm sure Drew McIntyre will be turning heel soon enough. I just don't see him, really staying in the, in the babyface role for too much longer. It just, I really think Drew McIntyre needs that change of scenery. He does. So, we'll see what happens as that continues on. And let's see what we got next. As Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre win, but then Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio head down to the ring as Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae follow. We got Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio in her corner going one-on-one against Indy Hartwell with Candice LeRae in her corner. And this is a non-title match. The bell rings. Rhea wastes no time. She fires off right hands on Hartwell and then tosses her across the ring and delivers a shoulder to her midsection. She fires off some chops and charges at her in the corner, but Hartwell ducks out of the way and sends Rhea colliding with the ring post as she follows it up with a spine buster and dumps her out of the ring and then follows her out there. Rhea then sends her colliding with the ring post and then gets her back inside the ring and levels Candice on the outside. When she slides back in, she lands a headbutt. Rhea does a devastating one. And then the Riptide on Indy Hartwell for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. In this non-title match, your winner is the WWE Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. After the match, Candice attacks Rhea, but Rhea overpowers Candice's. Hartwell then levels Rhea with a flapjack, and then Candice follows it up with a step-up senton. So that's where we're at with that. It looks like we're going to get Candice LeRae against Rhea Ripley next. It might be a non-title match. It might be a title match. Who knows? What's up, Jalen? How's it going? But yeah, we don't know. Alright. So, we go back at ringside. Shinsuke Nakamura heads down to the ring with a fresh look. He's wearing a black suit. Michael Cole's in the ring with him. Michael Cole talks with Shinsuke Nakamura. This is pretty much short, sweet, to the point. Michael Cole asked Shinsuke Nakamura why he attacked Seth freaking Rollins. And, by the way, the Rhea Ripley Indy Hartwell match, nothing special, just basic, a couple minutes long, nothing special. But Michael Cole asked Shinsuke Nakamura why he attacked Seth freaking Rollins last week, given their storied history. And Nakamura just says, he speaks some in Japanese, and then he just says, I want the world title. Cole then asked Nakamura if kicking Seth in the head was really necessary. Nakamura says he will win the title. So Seth's music hits, he comes down to the ring. Seth says, wow, Michael Cole did a great job. Seth is like, I'll take it from here. Seth welcomes Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada to Monday Night Rollins, and then says that he has to hand it to Shinsuke because he played his role to perfection and knocked him out. Seth says, it's too obvious for Nakamura to simply want a World Heavyweight Championship match, and says that he's not hard to find, as he says he stands in the ring week after week with his world title around his waist, and the world singing his song. Seth says all Nakamura had to do was ask for a world title shot, but instead he attacks Seth. Seth says he's concerned with how he can get even now, and says he has a surprise for Shinsuke, as he says the best way for him to get what he wants is to grant Shinsuke a crack at the World Heavyweight Championship, and then tells him to name the time and place, because he will be there. Seth then offers his hand to Shinsuke. Shinsuke shakes it, and then Shinsuke pulls Seth in close and whispers something into his ear that shakes him. And Shinsuke then blindsides Seth with the Kinshasa, laying Seth out again. So I'm assuming Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth freaking Rollins, that'll be your world title match at Payback. Seth is winning. See, what does having a champion on both shows do? I mean, realistically, guys, what does it do? The reason why I ask this question is because for me, it's not really doing much of anything right now. It's just not. People may ask why, but you just got Seth Rollins doing the formulaic babyface, type of thing here. Like, just defending the title, being the fighting champion, being that babyface champion. It's like, okay, we see that all the time. It's just not like Roman Reigns. See, I'm spoiled with Roman Reigns' title run. It's booked so well, it goes so well, that anybody else that holds a championship, it doesn't hold a candle to what Roman is doing. And I know if Cody were to win the championship, it's just not going to be anything special either. That's why I want Roman to just remain champion. Simple as that. But I mean, the segment was okay. Shinsuke really didn't give a reason besides I want a world title match. Didn't really do anything for me. I mean, the segment was what it was, whatever. Next up is something I really don't care about. Trish Stratus that makes her way down to the ring. Becky Lynch follows. We got Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Zoe Stark is banned from ringside. The bell rings. Both women waste no time raining down right hands as Becky sends Trish into the top turnbuckle face first. But Trish lands a series of chops. And, Becky then lands the Bexploder. The action spills to the outside. Becky delivers a right hand off the apron. Trish delivers a clothesline and executes a hair whip. And Becky overpowers Trish and tosses her back into the ring as, Becky ascends to the top and Trish catches Becky with a Hurricane Rana that pulls her down, which I think that used to be called the Stratosphere or whatever, but she then sends her into those steel ring steps on the outside and gets her back into the ring, so Trish is in control. We go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. Becky's making the comeback, hitting a pair of clotheslines and a right hand in the corner. She follows it up with a kick and a leg drop off the top rope. But Trish fires back with a spear and a right hand. Both women end up on the top rope. Becky then lands a superplex as Trish slides out of the ring and looks to escape to the crowd. Becky then prevents Trish from doing so as the referee begins counting to 10. Both women end up brawling out through the crowd, but the referee completes his 10 count, so we don't have a winner. It's a double count out, it's a draw, meaning this fucking garbage feud is going to continue. After the match, after this double countout, Trish and Becky brawl up the stairs and into the concession area. Becky then sends Trish crashing into the merchandise stand before Becky does the same to Trish. And right as Becky's taken over, Zoe Stark in disguise. Zoe Stark is in disguise and appears and beats down Becky before Trish joins in. And that was that. I'm like, great, we're going to have another match between these two. This feud is going to go 5 months instead of 4. I'm like, I don't care. God, I don't care. But anyway, we go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. We see Imperium backstage. Gunther, Chuzat, Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser. For constantly losing. Gunther chews out Giovanni Vinci for consistently losing. And then he chews out Ludwig Kaiser for neglecting his responsibilities. Kaiser promises Gunther it won't happen again and offers to go talk to Adam Pearce to make his Intercontinental Championship match with Chad Gable. Gunther tells Kaiser not to do so, and Gunther says he will do it himself. So, that's what we got. We then head backstage to Adam Pearce yelling at Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark for what happened. Pearce then makes a steel cage match between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch official. I don't know, they didn't really say when. I don't know if that's on Raw next week or at Payback or what they're doing. I don't know. But I don't care. Back at ringside, Cody Rhodes heads down to the ring and Finn Balor follows. And we got Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor, and it's now time for the main event of the evening for WWE Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor. Bell rings, both men lock up. They go back and forth, locking in submission holds before Cody executes a side Russian leg sweep and a chop as Balor fires back with a drop kick and a right hand to Cody's midsection, and then follows it up with a chop and a series of shoulders to his midsection, as he then delivers a snapmare and a second drop kick before delivering an elbow to his head. Cody delivers a knee to his midsection. Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley run down to ringside as Cody goes after Dominic, allowing Balor to blindside him with a kick. We go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break as Balor delivers a stomp to Cody's chest and whips him into the corner as Cody fires off right hands and then follows it up with a back elbow and a scoop power slam as Cody then executes a disaster kick as Damian Priest marches down to the ring and sets up for the Crossroads. Balor escapes and delivers a sling blade and then charges at him. Cody then catches him with a kick to his face for the Cody cutter, but Balor catches him and plants him as he drop kicks him into the corner. Cody delivers the Cody cutter, but Balor rolls out of the ring. Cody runs the ropes, but Priest grabs his ankles to stop his momentum. Balor tries blindsiding Cody, but Cody dumps him out of the ring. Cody then delivers a tope suicida, leaving both Balor and Priest, or leveling both Balor and Priest, as then he gets Balor back in the ring and ascends to the top as Dominic trips him, as Rhea distracts the referee, opening the door for Balor to deliver a superplex, as he goes for a pin, but Cody stays alive and kicks out. Dominic then slides Balor a chair, as the referee checks on Cody, but the referee sees the chair and takes it away, while Rhea distracts the referee. Priest then slides Balor his Money in the Bank briefcase, however he overshoots it and Cody catches it instead, as he hits Balor with it and follows it up with the Crossroads for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win, and your winner is indeed Cody Rhodes. And let's see here. After the match, the Judgment Day attacks Cody. Sami Zayn heads down to the ring with a chair in hand to make the save, but JD McDonough blindsides him. Balor beats him down, beats down Sami as Priest delivers the South of Heaven chokeslam to Cody. Rhea and Dominic then deliver a series of stomps to Sami on the outside, before Balor catches him with a coup de grace off the steel ring steps. Priest then clears the announce desk and delivers the Razor's Edge to Sami through the table, as Balor then ascends to the top and delivers the coup de grace to Cody inside the ring. So are we going to get like Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn against Finn Balor and Damian Priest on like a tag match at Payback? I don't know. Or is it just going to be Cody and Finn straight up? I don't know what they're doing, but after that coup de grace to Cody Rhodes inside the ring, that's how WWE Monday Night Raw goes off the air. But of course, Cody Rhodes wins the match. And there you go. That was indeed everything that we had on WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. You know, this Raw was just a very basic run-of-the-mill show. It was nothing special. It was nothing that's gonna knock your socks off. It's nothing that's gonna make you like, you know, this was really good, because it wasn't, you know. Just being honest, it wasn't, and they need to do something. They really need to do something, because this just ain't working. It's not working good. At least for me. I don't know about you, but it ain't working. Let me take a look here. Only other thing I could give to you guys here is on Wrestling Inc.'s website, WWE Monday Night Raw for August 14, 2023. 3 things they loved and 3 things they hated about Monday Night Raw tonight. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. So they loved Piper Niven takes the gold. Does it make sense for WWE to recognize Piper Niven as one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions just because she burst into Adam Pearce's office and assaulted a co-worker and declared herself Chelsea Green's partner and appropriated one of the title belts? No. No, it does not. But hey, we apparently live in a world now where CM Punk can vacate a title due to injury, be gone for 8 months, and then come back with his old belt and have AEW officially refer to him as the real world champion, so all bets are off. And this particular scenario involves Piper Niven holding a title and presumably being on TV. So regardless of how it happened, we're cool with it. Piper Niven, the former Dewdrop who got her name back at the 2023 Royal Rumble, has wrestled 7 televised matches since then, one of which was on Main Event, and she has not wrestled on Raw in more than 4 months, as she is an astoundingly talented performer who would mesh well with Chelsea Green despite being totally different from Sonya Deville in both character and wrestling style. We really hope the two of them get some real chances to shine together, and we look forward to watching their dynamic develop. Most of all, though, we are just glad that WWE found even a marginally creative way to avoid vacating the championship entirely again and putting it on a tournament and putting on a tournament for them or something again. This is a much better idea, and if it's illogical, take it up with the guy from Chicago who's definitely telling lies, meaning CM Punk. So that was one thing they loved about Raw, number 1. Now, number 2, the second thing that they loved about Raw tonight was Alpha Imperium. We can't really say enough about how much we are enjoying this feud between Gunther and Chad Gable. Not only have the matches been consistently excellent thus far, but it is a storyline that makes good use of pretty much everyone involved. We are still very wary that this thing with Maxine Dupree and Ludwig Kaiser is going to start going in directions we really don't want it to do, or don't want it to. But so far they have managed to skirt those particular borders, so we can't get upset about it quite yet. Beyond that, though, Imperium and American Alpha perhaps surprisingly make for a really phenomenal pairing, as the characters are all distinct enough to be able to carve out their own space in the story, and the wrestlers are all good enough to put on fun matches while doing it. And this week, we even got 2. Chad Gable vs. Giovanni Vinci was fun for what it was. And it's always nice to see Gable pick up a win on TV. But Gunther vs. Otis was the real treat, as the 2 big men, with radically different looks and styles, smashed into each other for a while, before Gunther somehow got Otis up for a powerbomb. We really like that these matches Gunther sets up with Gable, keep not going the way that he thought they would. So he has to demand an entire second match take place so he can try a different plan. It is a really interesting piece of character work for him, especially as he keeps blaming everything on Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, as we suspect we are finally getting a storyline that will result in major changes to Imperium, and we are ecstatic for that, but mostly we want Chad Gable to beat Gunther for that title. The match is apparently happening next week, but we would assume that they are going to drag out the feud until Payback, which happens to take place 6 days before Gunther breaks the Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest intercontinental title reign. If Gable were to beat him at Payback just before he reaches that historic milestone, that would be something. Now, here's number 1 of what Wrestling Inc. hated about Monday Night Raw tonight. They hated Glass Bro. Get it, because Drew McIntyre's from Glasgow, and Matt Riddle, always says bro, so Glass Bro. Don't really know how to feel about that, but let's see what they gotta say here. Alright, so when Tommaso Ciampa and Matt Riddle spent some time on social media prior to Monday's Raw, woefully lamenting the absences of their respective former tag team partners, We figured that if this got followed up on TV at all, it would be a Ciampa storyline. After all, the former tag team partner Ciampa is missing is the reportedly healthy Johnny Gargano, whereas Matt Riddle's tag team partner is the almost certainly not healthy Randy Orton. Sadly and inexplicably, it was Riddle's storyline that got the follow-up as he engaged in an effort to recruit Drew McIntyre as his new tag team partner, ultimately resulting in the two getting a win over the Viking Raiders. And, like I said, that match was just, that was another match. It was just, basic. It wasn't special. It was just, regular old tag team match. And I mean, really, do you really think Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle are going to be like some kind of, big time wrestling tag team and all this shit? Or like contend for the tag team championships. I don't see it, guys. I really don't see it. It's just something that, no, not at all. Not at all. I think this is something that's going to be rather short-lived, and I don't think it's going to be anything that's, that's going to be like, wow, this is great. No, I don't see that either, guys. I don't. I don't know if you guys see it, but it's just something that I don't really see. I don't. I mean, to think about the name too, Glass Bro. I mean, do you really think Glass Bro sounds like a great tag team name? Not really. But anyway, let's see, went over the Viking Raiders, but now on the plus side, we enjoyed Drew's looks of lightly inconvenienced bemusement as he tried to pull the effusive Riddle back from we're a real tag team now territory, and it has also led to a backstage segment with the New Day that was a highlight of the entire episode. On the negative side, the match against the Raiders was pretty boring overall, and we have major questions about the idea of sticking Drew in a regular tag team with Matt Riddle, and just feels like a waste of a great single star, albeit a currently directionless one. Also, we don't like Matt Riddle. Of course, they might not be doing that. Maybe Drew McIntyre will turn on Matt Riddle or something, as he should probably be feuding with Seth freaking Rollins in the not too distant future, and he would be a phenomenal heel. Until that happens, though, all we can do is look at what's in front of us, and so far we're not crazy about what we see. So now here's the third thing that Wrestling Inc. loved about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. They loved Shinsuke freaking Nakamura. It took us a weirdly long time to figure out whether we liked this segment with Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura, but after a little while we came to a decision. We are excited about the storyline. We probably wouldn't be excited about it if it weren't for the specific performers involved. Narratively, this segment was mostly a whole lot of nothing as Michael Cole brought out Shinsuke Nakamura and asked him why he kicked Seth freaking Rollins in the face. Nakamura says he wants a world title shot. Seth comes out, tells Nakamura that he could have just asked, and offers him the title shot whenever he wants, and they shake hands, which Nakamura attacks Seth again. This is simple, boilerplate stuff, and in just anyone's hands it could easily be boring. Fortunately, this is Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura both dressed up fancy, one in white, one in black, so subtle yet so bold, the whole good guy, bad guy thing. Seth freaking Rollins carries as part of the segment in typically praiseworthy fashion, but we couldn't keep our eyes off of Nakamura. He's so bizarre, but somehow also cool. His expressions are unique and vibrant, capable of telling us so much without him actually saying anything. He did most of his talking this week in Japanese, and yes, it was the annoying heel speaks foreign language to get heat thing, but his delivery, let's see, Nakamura's delivery here sold it like a supervillain, even though we couldn't understand the words. And then, of course, there was whatever Nakamura whispered into Seth's ear. We're unsure about this part. WWE doesn't have a great track record with stories that involve big secrets, but it did provide the segment more of an explicit reason for existing. And it looks like it is going to be a different kind of feud than the one Seth has recently gotten into. We should say that we're cautiously optimistic, but it is Seth and Nakamura, with Nakamura being involved in a major storyline for the first time since, 2018? No, we're not cautiously optimistic, we're excited. Here's the second thing that Wrestling Inc. hated about Monday Night Raw tonight. Lemons all the way down. In a perfect world, well, a slightly less imperfect world, than this one, at least Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus would have come out on Raw a week after being disrespectfully left off the card at SummerSlam and torn the house down, preferably in the main event. Unfortunately, we live in a fallen world where the good die young and Vince McMahon remains inexplicably unincarcerated. So there wasn't even much of a house to tear down. And, if that had been, they weren't the main event either. But in hindsight, that is understandable. This was not good at all. Part of that can be chalked up to bad luck. Aside from the superplex towards the end, none of the big spots landed right. Trish is out here botching moves she's been hitting for literal decades, and everything just seems slow and sluggish. The crowd might have something to do with that because the crowd was just dead tonight. Becky and Trish were not the only wrestlers to have the air taken out of their sails by an absolutely garbage Winnipeg crowd, and you could hardly blame some of these wrestlers if they did not give their all for that audience. But honestly, the bigger problem was that the match had no structure. And the match had no structure because there was nothing to base a structure on. This entire storyline has been built around Zoe Stark since she joined up with Trish at Night of Champions. So a match where Zoe Stark is banned from ringside doesn't have any teeth to it. And the other thing that the feud has to work with is Trish's face mask. And for some reason they decided to resolve that already weak plot point mid-match, so it did not have any impact whatsoever. Cool. We're actually happy about the double countout finish, because this was no way for WWE's second longest running storyline, yes, really, to end. And a steel cage match, that's more like it. That fits the narrative of needing to keep Zoe Stark out of the match while still allowing her to appear and probably do something during the match, and it works better to the styles of matches that Becky and Trish have been having, and Winnipeg doesn't deserve it. Especially with how bad the crowd was tonight. But another thing here, Zoe Stark, she was so damn excited, I guess, about this match, trying to hype it up, and, it's like, I don't even know how Zoe Stark could go out there and say this with a straight face. Before Raw even started tonight, Zoe Stark says Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus on WWE Monday Night Raw will be worth the wait. Just listen to this garbage. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus were recently forced to turn lemons into lemonade as their highly anticipated match was cut from WWE SummerSlam due to time constraints, instead setting for being the featured match for tonight's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. In a new interview with Cage Side Seats, Trish Stratus' right-hand woman Zoe Stark believes that it is best not to dwell on the disappointment and instead relish the opportunity. Here's a quote here, what Zoe Stark says. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, Zoe says. Hunter's a smart man. He's doing it for a reason. He's not just saying whatever, screw the women. He's not doing that. End quote. Zoe Stark is barred from the match tonight, but thinks that both women will pull off a main event worthy performance without her. And then Zoe Stark says here, and I quote, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus will be a great match. Zoe gushes and says, and it will be well worth the wait, end quote. Trish is confident about her chances in the rescheduled match as tonight's Raw takes place in her home country of Canada, which Trish Stratus believes will give her the quote-unquote home field advantage against the man, end quote. So yeah, come on. For Zoe Stark to say, oh, this match is going to be great and it's well worth the wait. No. Just no. Not good. And finally, guys, the third and final thing that Wrestling Inc. hated about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight, saying it is all about JD McDonough. So they say here, to be blunt about it, Raw was pretty bad this week. The crowd sucked, the matches were a reasonable amount of fun at best, and there were not really any major story advancements. No title matches, big character moments, not much of anything. It was a stark reminder that we are past SummerSlam and into the time of the year when WWE starts getting preempted by the NFL, a period of the company calendar not traditionally known for its creative brilliance. And as if to demonstrate the truth of such generalizations, Monday's episode was structured primarily around the saga of JD McDonough. It is a weird choice that got weirder as the episode went on. Initially it was fine. JD McDonough was legitimately trained by Finn Balor, so them hanging out makes sense. And it made sense that Sami Zayn would want a match with JD McDonough after last week, and a match that was by far the best of the evening, and that expertly blended McDonough's NXT background as a merciless manipulator of anatomy with Sami's superpower of getting people to feel sympathy for him. So far, so good. But after an astonishingly tepid main event match between Finn Balor and Cody Rhodes, JD McDonough re-emerged, this time as the extra ally who helped turn the tide against Cody and Sami, allowing Sami to be put through the announce table. We really hope that wasn't Sami getting written off of TV. But you guys never know, it probably was. But then what did they do with the tag team titles after that? But anyway, throughout the show, it had been made clear that following SummerSlam, we were once again doing Judgment Day drama, which was fun the first time, but now it feels like a retread, this time with 100% more Irish wrestlers, and it ended the same way it ended before, with the Judgment Day bonding after a victory. Except it wasn't a victory, of course. Cody Rhodes beat Finn Balor after Damian Priest, in what might be the most unintentionally funny thing we've ever seen in wrestling this year, accidentally slid his briefcase between Finn Balor's legs and into Cody Rhodes' hands, and Cody used Damian Priest's briefcase as a weapon to pick up the win, so there's still tension in the Judgment Day, right? Except then the JD McDonough stuff happened, and Raw went off the air with them looking dominant, and the announcers talking about how dominant they are, so maybe not. It's confusing. The main problem here, aside from the centrality of McDonough, is that we don't understand what WWE is building towards with this storyline. Payback is in less than 3 weeks. What's the payback match coming out of this? If we assume the tag titles are out of the picture for now, which we hope is not the case, but it could be, and we factor in the fact that Cody just beat Finn and has already beaten Dominic Mysterio, Are we doing Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest, or are, Finn Balor and JD McDonough splitting from the Judgment Day, and we're doing Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, or Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio for Payback? Who knows? That seems awfully quick. And who is the crowd supposed to root for? We don't understand where this story is going, and that's disappointing considering you could have just, had Finn Balor win the world title at SummerSlam and watched your Judgment Day story write itself from there. But no, we need to bring in JD McDonough instead. Rough showing from all the Judgment Day members this week. But hey, you know what? Rhea Ripley had a match with Indy Hartwell, and that got her and Candice LeRae on TV again. So at least some things are looking up. We hope we get to see a Rhea Ripley-Candice LeRae match with a decent amount of time at some point. At least Rhea Ripley gets to keep doing some cool stuff. Yeah, so that's everything, folks. That is everything. That was Monday Night Raw. It was just a very middle of the road, bland, just, something that just didn't click. This episode of Raw just didn't click the way that it could have. They could be doing things that are way more, that are just better than this, but they're not. It's, it's confusing, because you want them to do better. I mean, they can do better than what they're giving. I think they're just being very lazy with everything. I mean, Triple H is trying his best. I mean, you can see that. You know that. But the whole thing is, it's just not really working, guys. I think Vince McMahon has a little bit too much of, his whole creative control crap. And it's just not looking too good all the way around. We need Triple H to have more pull than what he's got. And you could just tell when Vince McMahon is kind of taking the reins on things that, it's definitely a Vince McMahon call compared to a Triple H call. So, as far as what I would rate the show on a scale of 1 to 10, because, let's just face it, the show itself wasn't that great. If the show was great, I would tell you. But, realistically, it was just, middle of the road, and nothing to write home about. So when I take everything into consideration here for Raw tonight, I guess I'm gonna say that WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, August 14th, 2023, I'm gonna give WWE Monday Night Raw a 6 out of 10, just middle of the road. Nothing really that special, just a 6 out of 10. See what SmackDown does on Friday. Now that Jey Uso in storyline has quit WWE, it will be interesting to see, what they do with that, how they're going to continue that storyline. They had to do something to, get Jimmy and Jey Uso to face each other at WrestleMania 40 and to drag this out. What better way to do that than to have a storyline of Jey Uso quitting the WWE? So I give them some props there. But, we'll see what they do going into SmackDown on Friday night. But Monday Night Raw was just very middle of the road. Some decent wrestling here or there. Nothing that was overly insulting or bad, but just average show. So anyway, guys, there you go. That's Monday Night Raw for you. And you guys know how it is. 6 out of 10. And that's going to do it for me here. So I will see all of you guys next time. And yes, there will be a next time for me right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T. That will be for your AEW Dynamite review and results show on Wednesday night, as we talk about AEW Dynamite, which should be a really big show. I can't wait to see what AEW is going to have in store for us. When AEW was at the very same arena at the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, what was it, just a couple weeks ago now, the crowd over there was much better for an AEW show. It's like, for Raw, the crowd was just, they were not into it. The crowd didn't really do anything. But, when AEW was there, the crowd was way more into it. And it just seemed like everything ran better all the way around than what it did here with WWE. So you can see the difference, how AEW can get the crowd a little bit more into what they're doing, rather than what WWE is doing, as Vince McMahon is just slowly taking more control of the WWE. So I'll see you for AEW Dynamite review results on Wednesday night after the show. And don't forget us, and we won't forget you. And of course, if you guys want the best, and yes, I do mean the absolute best for all of your professional wrestling needs, right here on the internet and right here on YouTube.com today, always remember to think Beyond the Ring with Big T. And I just wish I had something better to report on than just a middle of the road show like this. But like I was reading a little bit earlier, when you get to this part of the WWE calendar and they just put these middle of the road shows together, and they're really not putting much care into everything like they should be, because they're looking at it as, we're headed into the fall, the NFL preseason's already started, then the NFL regular season's going to start, and then we're going to have Monday Night Football, and we're going to have this, and we're going to have that. So automatically they deem it as they don't have to care. They don't have to, put a lot in the show, and that's really the wrong mentality to have. Regardless of what you're going up against, you still book a great show and give your crowd a great show. I mean, look at Tony Khan and AEW with the Collision that they put on the same day as SummerSlam, and it was still a damn good show, and they were going up against SummerSlam of all things. So WWE needs to take a lesson from AEW there. But thank you guys very much for watching and listening to your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, August 14th, 2023. And then, of course, everybody, don't forget, leave your likes, comments, subscribe, follow me on all my social media platforms, #JusticeForPurdy, donate to the show on PayPal, do all that good stuff, and thank you guys for that. And then, of course, everybody, as always remember, and never ever forget that I'm your host, Big T, and then I will see all of you at the matches. And I will see all of you for your AEW Dynamite review and results show on Wednesday night, right after AEW Dynamite. So make sure that you guys join me there for that one, because it's going to be a fun time. So, take care, everybody. I love you all. And, of course, good night, everybody. Ha 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 ha.
This is M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring. Big T.